Finally, I got to try out the new game Grow a Garden that everyone's been talking about.
The garden literally grows while you're offline, it says.
This one Roblox game is 10 times bigger than Fortnite. It even beat Fortnite's record of 14 million players.
Yes, I realised whilst writing this that I am a 21-year-old man talking about a game designed to be played by 10-year-olds. But this video is actually going to be a bit more sciencey than you might think. Before we get into the sciencey stuff, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, Grow a Garden. Now, Grow a Garden took Roblox by storm, very swiftly becoming one of the most played games on Roblox and maintaining that position for the past few months. But why has a game that is as simple as growing a garden taken the game by storm? There is an actual reason that Grow a Garden became so popular, averaging a couple million players every day. And it's not because of the advertisement of the game on social media and all of the boring algorithmic malarkey, no. But because we as humans are hardwired to enjoy farming. Not farming games, but farming in general. When asking the question, why do you enjoy farming, most people generally respond with one of two answers. A, seeing the end produce and being able to get value out of it after putting so much effort into growing it, or B, being connected to nature and producing something called natural purely by tending to it every day. These are genuinely valid answers. I'm not going to discredit farmers for sharing their thoughts and reasonings as to why they're farmers, but there is also a neurological reason as to why we farm, both in the real world and as gamers. I'm not joking when I say this, I'm being fully genuine. We call it the grind set. Yes, that grind set that the funny bald man constantly goes on about. It is a real thing. It dates all the way back to the prehistoric times when cavemen had the hunter-gatherer mindset. They would purposely go out of their way to provide for themselves, crafting weapons out of flint and sticks and, scavenging for whatever they could get for sustenance. Not because they wanted to, but because they had to. Obviously, we're in an era now where we don't have to do all of that, and we're privileged enough to have the knowledge that our ancestors didn't have. So much so that we're so stupidly technologically advanced that we simulate being hunter-gatherers because it scratches this part of our brain that we didn't know needed scratching. This is why games like Ark, Stardew Valley, Minecraft, Grow a Garden, the list goes on, are so popular. It's because we're scratching this primitive part of our brain. We, as humans, have this innate want to farm. We may not know it, but that's why games that include grinding towards something are so addictive, but it deviates from person to person. Some people may not find farming as fun as others, and that's completely fine because they're neurologically wired differently, which isn't a bad thing. In the case of Grow a Garden, there's also the fact that we like big numbers as humans. It's just, it's a thing that's also hardwired into us. More money equals more freedom because we can buy upgrades to make even more money and go in this loop of investing, making the number smaller for a minute to ultimately make the number bigger in the long run. Bigger is better. But that just about does it for this video. See, it was more sciencey than purely about Roblox. Obviously, kids are more susceptible to getting into the grind set because they have a lot more free time compared to adults, which makes it easier for them to get sucked into a game because they don't have anything else to worry about, other than grades. That's why the funny bald man tried to shill Sigma University or whatever it's called. Is it Hustlers University? Some crap like that. Anyway, that's why the funny bald man tried to shill Sigma University or whatever it was called to the children. They're so easily exploitable because they have nothing to worry about. Remember, kids, corporate scum doesn't care about you. They just want to make a bag off you.